and welcome live from Channels Television's global headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria. You're watching Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iriwa, and today our focus would be on the Southeast. But before we get into that, let's have a snippet of our top stories making rounds at the moment. The Senate committee has expressed deep concern over the federal government's failure to honor its agreement with ASUU, describing the situation as unacceptable. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions and TETFund, Senator Aliyu Dandutse, made the disclosure after a closed-door session with the leadership of ASUU. He further noted that the Senate would immediately initiate a negotiation process involving key stakeholders, including ASUU, the Ministry of Education, and the National Universities Commission, to chart a path toward a permanent resolution of the crisis. To address the controversial issue surrounding the University of Abuja land, Senator Dandutse confirmed that the Senate would also engage with the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, to find an amicable solution. The Senate will interface with the FCT Minister on the land matter, and other concerns raised will be carefully studied. Appropriate steps will be taken to ensure an amicable and lasting resolution. The committee further urged ASUU to formally submit a comprehensive list of their demands in writing to allow the Senate to assess both immediate and long-term legislative and policy measures needed to address the challenges plaguing the sector. Meanwhile, the Media Rights Agenda MRA has accused the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC of attempting to frustrate a legitimate freedom of information request by demanding a staggering 1.5 billion naira fee for copies of the National Register of Voters and the list of polling units across the country. In a strongly worded statement, MRA's Executive Director, Mr. Edetion Ojo, described the charge as a blatant attempt to weaponize cost as a tool for denying access to vital public information. Mr. Ojo stressed that the National Register of Voters and polling unit lists are critical public documents necessary for civil society groups, political parties, election observers, and the media to effectively monitor the electoral process. He urged that by placing such an exorbitant financial barrier before the requester, INEC is deliberately undermining the public's rights to information, compromising transparency, and avoiding accountability. MRA urged the Commission to review its costs framework and uphold its legal duty under the FOI Act to facilitate, not obstruct, citizens' access to electoral data. The president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Comrade Joe Ajaero, has downplayed the federal government's No Work, No Pay directive against striking university lecturers, insisting that the union's position remains no pay, no work. Speaking during a working visit to the country home of the Abia State Governor, Dr. Alex Oti, in Mvosi, Isialangwa South local government area, Mr. Ajaero advised the federal government to address the root problem instead of pushing affected workers.
President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero, leads members of his team on a courtesy call to the Abia State Governor, Alex Oti, marking the first of such official engagements in the state. The visit is part of the union's tour initiated by the NLC leadership to engage state governors on issues bordering on workers' welfare and the implementation of labour agreements. In his remarks, the Abia State NLC chairman, Ogbonnaya Okoro, lauds the governor's labour-friendly disposition, particularly the regular payment of worker salaries.
Unpaid gratuities, dilapidated hospitals, health centers, roads that look like a devil's highway. But just 2 years of this administration, Abia is wearing a good look. This is 2 years out of the 8 years. By the time His Excellency completes 8 years, Abia will be a small London.
A lot of times when the state chairman of NLC,
Governor Oti reassures his guests that the welfare of the people remains top priority of his administration.
For us, our relationship with labor has been very cordial, and we all work for the same purpose. At the end of the day, government is about the welfare of the people.
On his part, the NLC president commends Governor Oti for the progress made on workers' welfare, but he says there's more to be done where the education sector is concerned.
The position of NLC clearly is that by Monday we are meeting with all unions in the educational sector, whether College of Education, College of Technology, whatever. How we finish, we will ask ourselves question whether any country can develop without education, whether it is not affecting you and your children, and then we take a holistic approach. If all the workers in the country will take an action based on what is happening, because no country develops without its educational sector.
The visit, according to the NLC, is part of efforts to strengthen collaboration with state governments in addressing the welfare and working conditions of Nigerian workers.
The Ebonyi State's Governor, Mr. Francis Nwifuru, has declared a state of emergency on water supply as he embarks on massive water infrastructure and pipe reticulation across the state. The project, which aims to ensure the residents have total access to clean potable water, is part of the government's efforts to address the long challenge of water scarcity across the state.
His Excellency the Governor took the issue of water very seriously, because for over 13 years, Ebonyi State did not experience pipe-borne water. So the coming of this administration, this governor, believing that water is life, took that matter very seriously. That's why we embarked on a massive rehabilitation of the water infrastructure in the state. Right here in the state capital, we're able to deliver water, and we are making every effort to make sure that all the streets, all the homes in the capital city are connected to the public water supply. That is why you noticed we did a very serious major pipe relocation at Omambala Road, because the old pipe done during the colonial era was done with asbestos. So we had to remove them and replace them with the DI pipes. Yeah, the laying of pipes is not something I'll say we end tomorrow or next, because it's a continuous process. But what we are doing to make sure that people are not denying water is that once we finish a section, we introduce water to them. So while the laying continues in other areas, but we're doing it in such a way that people will not be denied water for a very long time. So the areas we are doing now, though there is a water interruption, even to the areas that we are getting before now, to enable us do this work effectively. It's not going to take more than a week now. We'll be done with that, and then allow them to have access to water while we continue in other areas.
The Abia State's Governor, Dr. Alex Otti, has issued a stern warning to those allegedly plotting to rig the 2027 governorship election in the state, saying such individuals should write their wills before attempting to subvert the will of the people. Speaking at the Government House in Umuahia during the October edition of Alex Otti Speaks to Abians, the governor maintained that only the will of God and the mandate of the people will determine who governs Abia State in 2027. Governor Otti was reacting to comments credited to the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, who had earlier declared that the All Progressives Congress, APC, would take over power in the state come 2027. While insisting that he is not threatened by such remarks, the governor said Kalu is free to contest but must play according to the rules.
He wants to run for governorship in 2027, that's fine. It is his fundamental human right. Nobody should stop him. But again, we must respect the law. If INEC releases the timetable and says this is the time that campaign starts, if you start campaigning before then, you put yourself in harm's way. You can even be disqualified before the election. So when you gather people and you are telling them you are going to take over the state in 2027, you are campaigning. It's not right. So I will plead with him that if he wants to run election, he should hold his fire. Once I blows the whistle, he should go and pick up a form and begin to campaign. It's for other people to decide who will be their governor.
going to be there, and unfortunately I couldn't. There was an emergency that got me to travel to New York, and I missed it, and I couldn't have sent a representative to such an auspicious occasion. But glad to see you today. Now,
the re-election campaign of the Anambra State Governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, is gathering momentum ahead of the November 8th election. The Nokofia local government area is the latest stop for the All Progressives Grand Alliance, where a huge crowd received the incumbent governor and his team. There were many speeches from the crowd of supporters as they reeled out his achievements in all sectors of the state's economy. The people made up of men, women, youths, as well as party faithful reassure him that November 8th will be a walk in the park.
Okay, now a few things. The first, gratitude. Ekene. Appreciate you for this important ceremony that you are having today. Iwe ifubi. Okay? It's like equivalent to the New Yam Festival. But this one is not just yam. It's everything from the farm. Okay? As I went around, I could see different things on display. For me? I thought it was display for you guys who are showcasing what you produce. These things are for me? Then I will need 10 trailers to carry them home. Oh my God. As I move around the state and this show of love from the people, I have traveled around. In fact, the yams were collected. We've been distributing them to the motherless babies and the destitute homes, you know, for their food. I'm sure some of them, they will have enough food for the next year. And now with these ones, I went around the whole place, seeing displays of farm produce and so on. And they are now telling me, because today is your Iwe Ifubi, more like the harvest day. Is that? Celebration of harvest. And that I'm going to take these ones home. Now I'm going to tell Glamour and my protocol people, don't take them all. Now me go chop them all. Now me go chop them. I go chop them well. Thank you very much. I deeply appreciate it. I appreciate you for celebrating this. Because we must celebrate hard work. We say in this part of the world, so it is auspicious that you bring out one day in a year to celebrate farming and produce from farms. Very, very important. Because this message must go down everywhere. I remember sometime last year or thereabout, there was this thing, I think some people declared some kind of what did they call it? Hunger strike, hunger what? Hunger protest, that they were hungry. In this part of the world, we said no. It's shameful. It's an embarrassment for a man to stand on the street and say, I'm hungry. People will ask you, don't you have hands? Don't you have legs? So instead, we launched Farm to Feed program in Anambra, and our youths, our women, our men embraced it. And now we're having the yields.
A massive crowd of supporters gathered at Oduata Central School Field in Ihiala today, showing overwhelming support for Governor Chukwuma Soludo's re-election bid. The historic rally celebrated Governor Soludo's security achievements and expressed confidence in his leadership, with attendees assuring him of a landslide victory on November 8th.
Grassroots development is a huge part of Anambra State Governor Chukwuma Soludo's agenda for a livable state. And Neni community, the headquarters for Anaucha local government area, is one of the latest beneficiaries of clean, reliable and safe drinking water, which has eluded them for a while. Carrying out the mandate of the governor, the mayor of the council area, Mr. Rome Ibekwe, highlights provision of social amenities as a mandate to improve lives.
And bear it in mind, this local government, this our local government, To get a water is one of the difficult things you can get.
Yes, sir.
Some places, you have to dig up to 950 feet before you get any water. Some places are more. Some places are 800. I will say even at that, we're going to deny ourselves many things for us to have what is called sustainability. We move the land. As I speak to you, we have conquered to make sure we have existing 17 boreholes. We have commissioned one at INEC. We have this one at Nene. We have other places. We are starting to commission them from next week.
He commissions 2 solar-powered boreholes assisted by traditional ruler of Nene, who believes it will reduce the stress and costs of sourcing water in the community.
Water is life. Clean, good water, not bottle water. So our own is clean, good water. It's life. Without that, one cannot exist. So the entire community are grateful, very grateful, and they thank the government and the people that work for the government.
Next is the inauguration of the Local Government Workers Solution Vanguard, a voluntary support group for the re-election of Governor Chukwuma Soludo.
We are here to mobilize you, the believers and supporters of the government, to move into your polling units and villages and your electoral wards to spread the good work of the solution government. There is story of the solution government in Anambra State. Finally, encourage our people to come out in large numbers and cast their votes for Abia, the party under which the governor is contesting.
You are not only accepting a role, you are accepting a responsibility to lead with discipline, to organize with zeal, and to engage our neighbors with respect and clarity.
The Solution Vanguards are charged to mobilize support for the governor over the next couple of weeks to ensure victory in the 5,264 polling units in Anambra State.
The Nigerian Army is urging Nigerians to be mindful of the contents they post on social media, particularly materials that spread false information or pose a threat to national security. This caution comes from the 44th edition of the Nigerian Army Social Media Seminar held in Owerri, the Imo State's capital, southeast Nigeria, with the theme promoting a culture of security awareness through the responsible use of social media. The Nigerian Army explains that the seminar's theme seeks to promote patriotic use of social media platforms as vital tools for strengthening national unity and achieving broader security objectives. Our correspondent Eitokwe Kute reports.
It's the 44th edition of the Nigerian Army Social Media Seminar. Officers and men of the Nigerian Army, other security agencies, members of the National Youth Service Corps, youth, social media influencers, bloggers, TV personalities, and journalists converge on Owerri for this important engagement. General Officer Commanding 82 Division of the Nigerian Army and Commander Joint Task Force Southeast Operation Doka, Major General Olufemi Olatoye, sets the ball rolling by highlighting the major aim of the event, combating fake news and misinformation. He appeals to social media users, especially the youth, to always verify information before posting.
Who are the beneficiaries of a safe and secure environment? The people. And where do you get the military, the armed forces of Nigeria, and other security agencies from the people? It's from the people that we select. Now, if you, as a person, you see something wrong and you don't feed the security agencies, then you've done something wrong. It's either you are sympathetic or you have given a silent approval. to those who are propagating insecurity.
There is a positive side to the use of social media, such as the leveraging power it possesses when used to promote national harmony, shape positive public opinion, and champion the cause of peace across the country.
The content we create, the posts we make, and share them on the social media have ripple effects on the citizenry with profound national security implications. It is therefore imperative that we all harness the power inherent in the social media as a tool to promote harmony, shape positive public opinion, and champion the cause of peace.
Representing the Chief of Army Staff, the Commander Armored Corps Major General Obinna Ajunwa notes that in its commitment to safeguarding civil authorities and protecting Nigeria's territorial integrity, the Nigerian Army seeks to harness the digital potential of Nigeria's vibrant youths towards achieving national security, mindful of the powerful influence social media wields in shaping public perception.
There is no doubt to the tenacity and capabilities of the Nigerian youths, which we believe, if properly harnessed and channeled, will impact positively on the security landscape of our country. It is on this note that the Nigerian Army conceived this social media seminar to engage youths across the Federation, fostering collaboration to enhance national security and nation building.
Some participants share their perspectives on the seminar and learning outcomes.
I feel very glad to be in this seminar because it's really teaching me a lot of things, like not posting online, every little thing you see, and even if you want to post online, post things that will save people's life. Just like in an accident where there's an accident, where you instead of snapping the accident, you try to save the person involved in the accident.
The Nigerian Army is confident that the summit will leave participants better informed about their use of social media, which will contribute positively to national security. Yitokwekute, Channels Television News.
The Omambala region comes alive with vibrant culture and unity as leaders and residents gather for the maiden Omambala Union Cultural Day celebration at Otuocha Township Stadium. The occasion serves as a platform for peace advocacy with calls for an end to conflicts and a renewed focus on harnessing the area's vast resources for development and prosperity as Governor Chukwuma Soludo outlines his administration's grand plans for the region.
The Otuocha Township Stadium in Anambra East local government area of the state turns into an atmosphere of vibrant cultural display, fanfare and reunion of kith and kin as the Omambala Union celebrates its maiden cultural day. It's a day that diminishes every rancor, bitterness and animosity, as reinforced by remarks from the royal fathers who touch on the need to revive tourism and preservation of the numerous gifts of nature in the region.
What we are going to do here today is not about quarreling, it's not about dragging position, it's not about measuring heights. It's about showcasing our cultural heritage. It's Anambra, it's the Omambala that we have, the only oil well that makes Anambra oil producing state. When they add what to it. It is in Omambala that you have the only airport. It is in Omambala that you call food that gate of Anambra State. It is Anambra because every food that people consume comes from this zone. Today,
the chairman of Omambala Union Worldwide, Dr. Chike Obidigbo, discloses that Omambala is the undisputable heartbeat of Anambra State and needs guidance towards development.
Omambala is learning of progressive purpose and the best method to educate and the guidance and the need for peace and not war. All men of courage, wisdom and good conscience must learn when to shift the sword and lay down arms. Fratricide is not only uncivilized, it is evil in all known cultures and all known customs and traditions. It is evil even against the land on which we stand and strive daily for our sustenance.
The tourism potential of the Omambala region does not lie in the natural deposits alone. The people showcase their cultural dance and sundry performances, a clear sign that it's abundantly blessed. Governor Chukwuma Soludo is represented by the Commissioner for Culture, Tourism and Entertainment, Mr. Don Oyenji, who announces that in addition to the Tourism Master Plan, the government is committed to the restoration of peace and security.
When this government started, 8 local governments were under siege in Anambra State. The fear of the unknown government, so-called then, was the beginning of wisdom. But today, the entire Anambra State is celebrating all ceremonies and festivals without fear. This is the reason we can go anywhere in the world and beat our chest to say that Anambra State is a destination for tourism.
The event, to all intents and purposes, has activated the mobilization of Omambala's human and natural resources for the development and stability of the region.
And that's where we drop the anchor on this edition of Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iriu. Thank you for staying tuned.